What if a miracle drug could make you younger, prettier, and perfect, but at a horrifying cost? Substance plunges into the life of Elizabeth Sparkle, a once celebrated star desperate to regain her youth and relevance. Today on CineKom, we're diving into the movie called The Substance. Welcome to CineKom. The story opens with a man injecting green liquid into the egg yolk. Immediately after that, the egg yolk becomes one or two. The scene is cut, and we are shown that some people are making a star named Elizabeth Sparkle. Actually, Elizabeth is a very beautiful model and also the host of a show. For some time after becoming this star, people used to come to this star and take selfies. But then slowly, people's attention went away from this star, and this star broke. No one even fixed it, which was clearly showing that people's interest in Elizabeth Sparkle is running out. Then the scene is cut, and we are shown Elizabeth Sparkle, who is now in her 50th year. Now she is old, but she still hosts the same show. After the shooting of her show, when Elizabeth started going to the washroom, she found out that the ladies' washroom was closed for some reason. That's why she went to the male washroom, where the show's director also came. He was talking to someone on the phone that now Elizabeth is not the same as before. Because of Elizabeth, where she used to get very high ratings, now her TRPs are falling. And now I have to replace Elizabeth. I need a new, young, and beautiful girl for my show. Hearing this, Elizabeth broke down badly. The beauty she was proud of, it was over today. She kept looking at herself in the mirror, where a lot of wrinkles had come. She was sad about her youth, but now she was also sad that she was being thrown out of the show. Elizabeth could not leave all this. She first goes to meet the director, where the director says, "Look, Elizabeth, I can't help you at all, because my show runs with people, and I want to give people what they want, such beauty." And she was no longer in the show. The director's words had broken Elizabeth badly. She left the hotel, but while driving, the director's words were echoing in her ears. And in all this, her attention is lost from driving, and the car coming from the front crashes her car badly. And surprisingly, it turns out that Elizabeth did not have a scratch in such a bad accident. It was her fortunate luck. Anyway, the doctor discharged Elizabeth from the hospital, but now she started crying bitterly, because she had seen her pictures on the way down from the billboard. It can be seen that a nurse checks her backbone here and then gives her clothes. Elizabeth, as soon as she came out of the hospital, felt that the nurse had left a message in her coat. It was written in the message that she had changed my knife, and there was also a drive with it, on which it was written, "The Substance." Elizabeth comes home, and as soon as she comes, she runs that drive, in which information was being given about a fluid called the Substance. This substance was a magical substance, and this substance can give any old person a new and young variant of it. Along with this substance fluid, he was going to get another fluid that would keep both variants, i.e., old body and new body, together. This work was not so easy, but it was not very difficult. For a person to use this substance, it was necessary to activate both his variants every 7 days. And to keep the new variant, i.e., the young body, stabilized, every day that new body has to be given an injection of that special substance that will come out of the spine of the old body. When one variant of one body will be activated, at that time the other variant of the other body will be unconscious. Elizabeth thought all this was a lie at first. She threw this flash drive in the dustbin thinking it was a lie. But at night she felt a breakdown again. She started disturbing the picture of her youth at home. And then she came to her senses and messaged me on the number that I have to order that substance. On the other hand, whoever was talking, he did not talk much to Elizabeth. He just asked Elizabeth for her address and then gave her a special address and a call card. The next morning, it is shown that Elizabeth was reading the newspaper where she saw an ad that her company had put up. This ad was going on for the interview of a new model to replace Elizabeth, which made her even more depressed. Along with this newspaper, she also picked up an envelope, which was black in color. When Elizabeth opened the envelope, there was a number written on it. Now Elizabeth reaches the secret address given by that man, which was a very secret place inside the house. This was a locker room, which was given a number card. Elizabeth accessed this place through it and then opened her locker, where there was a box, which she brought home. When she came home and opened this box, she found a lot of things in it. First of all, a serum and an injection, which had to be used only once, Along with that, there was a stabilizer kit through which she had to stabilize the new body every day. And it has already been found from that flash drive that the fluid of that stabilizer will come out of the backbone of the old body. Now, to change both the bodies, a special kind of kit was given, and along with that, special food was also given for both the bodies, that is, for the young and old body. After this, Elizabeth goes to the washroom and keeps looking at her body for a long time, as if she is not able to decide whether she should do this or not. Then, after thinking about it, she injected that green fluid, that substance, into herself. For a while, nothing happened to Elizabeth, but then after a while, she was in so much pain that her eyes started to burst. We saw her eyeballs double in her eyes, and then the next second, her back started to burst, from where a new and young girl came out. This was Elizabeth's new version, a new young body which came out of the old body. This new version of Elizabeth looked at herself in the mirror, and for a long time, she could not believe that what she had used had worked. She became so beautiful and young that she did not even think about it. After seeing her beauty for a long time, she is now the old version of Elizabeth, that is, the backbone of the old body. After tearing it, she came out. After that, she attached a food bag with her to keep her old body alive, the company that gave it to her. She enjoyed her beauty all night today. When she woke up in the morning, her nose was bleeding. Seeing this, she got worried, and she remembered that she had also been given an activator kit, and she was told that every day, to keep the new body, that is, the young body, active, she had to remove the substance from the backbone of the old body and inject it into herself. That's why she immediately started removing the substance from the backbone of the old body. And after applying this injection, she became completely normal. The beauty of this new version was much more than before. That's why she gets ready and goes for the audition of the same show from where she was removed. There, everyone was stunned to see Elizabeth's beauty, and the director also immediately selected Elizabeth. Elizabeth had told her name here, So. After being selected in the interview, So remembers that she has to change her body every week, for which she makes an excuse that my mom is sick, and I have to go to my village every week to take care of my mom. The director, without thinking, understood. In his week, he had also agreed to the condition of taking holidays. Finally, So got this job, and she was enjoying this job a lot. She got beauty from this new body. By showing it off, she quickly made a lot of followers. And as soon as she saw it, her billboards, her ads started running all over the city. And now 6 days had passed, and Elizabeth came to this new body. And today was the 7th day, means the day to shift the body. Because now for a whole week, Elizabeth's old version, means old body, will be active. After shifting the body, Elizabeth does foot attach with her new body, and then she goes to her office, means to her show, where the director gives her a gift in exchange for her money. And by doing a lot of bad things to her, he takes her out of the office, because of which she was feeling very bad when she came home. Anyway, now the next day comes. Elizabeth got an envelope while reading the newspaper. She got the company from where she had taken that substance. There was a message in this envelope that her new refill kit had arrived, and Elizabeth now wears her court shirt and brings that kit. Now 7 days are completed, and Elizabeth turns into So. She activates her new body. Now this new body had to take all the fun in the world. In this case, she could have been at home sometimes, sometimes not. Her truth could have been revealed. That's why she decided to break a wall in her house and hide Elizabeth's old body there. So's ruckus was making so much noise that her neighbors also started getting worried, and when a neighbor came to complain to her, So couldn't even complain about her beauty. On the contrary, she said, "If you need any help, call me. I live nearby." But So was doing secret work. She didn't need anyone's help. That's why she closed the door on her neighbor's face in a very sneaky way. And then she came in and took many hours to complete her work. She made a secret room in her house, in which she hid Elizabeth's old body, now because So had taken Elizabeth's place. And So was going to be famous. That's why she hid all the photos of Elizabeth's youth with her. Elizabeth was having so much fun in her new body that at this time she forgot that today was the day of shifting. Her old Elizabeth's body was running out of food, and today she had to shift her body. So also brings her friend home. When she came home and was busy with her work, suddenly she felt blood flowing from her nose. and a strange sensation started in her body. She understood that now it's time to shift her body, but instead of shifting her body, she was greedy. She decided to stay in her new body for a little longer and took out all the substances from Elizabeth's body and injected them into her body, which made her better. But what will happen to Elizabeth's body will be found out later. So spent 7 more days like this. She then shifted her body. When she came to Elizabeth's body, she saw that one of her fingers had melted, and this was all because of her carelessness. She did not switch her body on time. In tension, Elizabeth called the company and asked them, "I missed my cycle. I did not switch my body, because of which one of my fingers is broken. What is the solution to fix it?" Then the company replied, "There is no solution to this. Whatever happened, happened." And listening to this, she got very scared. The company told her that you are not two, you are one. Your new body has also come out of one body. That's why you have to be careful. Anyway, Elizabeth came to get her new refill kit. After getting her refills, she went to a restaurant where she saw an old man who was talking to her strangely. Elizabeth noted that she has the same mark on her hand as she saw in the hospital on the nurse's hand. Not this. This was the old version of that nurse. This old man asks her, "Has your new body started eating you?" Hearing this, she got scared, and they ran away from there. Elizabeth now comes to her house. She wanted to be happy in this old version too. That's why she called her friend to meet her. She was very beautiful. She wore gorgeous clothes and did her makeup like a new version. After getting ready, she was about to go out. She saw Sue's posters outside. As soon as she saw it, all her confidence was lost. And she messed up her makeup, her hair, everything. She was going crazy. Because of her depression, she eats a lot of food, and then she goes to sleep. The next day, we are shown that now Elizabeth had switched her body. And this was the time of her show. Elizabeth was now dancing. That is, she was shooting her show. Then suddenly a hump comes on her lower body. As soon as she sees it, she gets confused. She leaves the shooting and goes to the washroom. She was scrolling this hump. When she took it out of her belly button, she found out that this was a chicken, which was eaten by Elizabeth at night. As soon as she saw this, she got very scared, and her eyes opened. This was all Elizabeth's dream. In the morning, she actually switched her body, and they went to her show. But as soon as she got there, she got scared seeing this, that the people of the show were packing for the shooting, and they told her that from now on, this show will not work. She got scared and went to the director. So, the director turned her worry into happiness, saying that now she will not do this ordinary show. In fact, she will host the New Year's Eve. As soon as she heard this, there was no place for her happiness. Without much thought, she said yes, although New Year's Eve was the day when she had to switch her body and go to Elizabeth's body. Not caring about this. Now, for many days, she stays in this new body. And to activate this, Elizabeth comes from her old body, she takes out the stabilizer and keeps injecting it into her body, which was affecting Elizabeth's old body. Now, after many days, when she switched herself, she realized that Elizabeth was completely old. Due to taking out her serum more, I now see her condition. Elizabeth started hating Sue. She started killing all the photos of Sue in her house. She even covers the mirror of her house, where she used to see Sue's billboards from the front. Elizabeth was very worried. She calls the company and asks them, "Is there a solution for all this? Can I get the same body back? I took out the new version of Sue." The company told me, "It was already told to you. What's done is done. Now nothing can be changed, but it's in your hands. If you want to stop everything, you can stop it here. Now you can spend your whole life with your old body." But Elizabeth didn't agree. Now Elizabeth got a call from Show, and she switched her body again. As soon as she switched her body, she took out the substance of Elizabeth's old body and injected it into her body. For 3 months, Elizabeth enjoyed being in Sue's body. And then, just one night before New Year's Eve, her fluid was over. She came to a boy's house today. And then she felt it, that her body's organs were bursting. As soon as she felt this, she wants to take out the serum from Elizabeth's old body. But today, the serum didn't come out. She was very worried. So, she called the company and asked, "What should I do now?" The the company told her. If the serum is not coming out, it means you have used all the serum, and now you have to wait for a new serum. By then, you have to switch your body. Sue's condition was awful with this call. She started switching her body, and the boy was also listening to all these sounds. He also felt something strange. To investigate, he came to the washroom, but this old Elizabeth locked the washroom immediately before the boy could see her horrible form. She was very old and also bald. It was very difficult for her to walk. Elizabeth was very worried. She called the company and said, "I want to stop all this." The company agreed and told her to take the termination fluid. Elizabeth's body was looking terrible. With her efforts, she hid the body in her clothes, and then she went to take the termination substance. After bringing the termination substance, she was going to apply it on Sue's body. Then she remembered the company's manager. If you inject the termination substance, then the body in which you are now, you will always be the same. Thinking about this, she did not inject the serum. She looked at her body in the mirror, and she started getting angry at Sue again, because all this happened because of Sue. She also injected the serum in Sue, but just now, she injected only half the serum. She remembered. She has to host a very big show, and in the coming days, she also had to get that award. She had to hear her praises, like what people used to do to her before. In this greed, she did not inject half the serum, and then she started picking up Sue. After trying to wake her up for a long time, when Sue does not wake up, she thinks of switching the body, but when the body did not switch. Then Elizabeth took out the activator from her backbone and put it on Sue, and Sue got activated. That is, at one time, as soon as she got activated, when Sue saw that Elizabeth was going to terminate her, then she got very angry. In her anger, she hit Elizabeth so much, that's it. Her head crashed, and she died. After killing Elizabeth, she realized that she had done very wrong. Now, she was not even going to get the activator substance. Anyway, now she cleans everything from here and goes for her New Year program. The crowd welcomed her very enthusiastically. She was feeling very good. But then suddenly, she started feeling something strange in her body. Blood started coming from her nose, and she got scared and came to the washroom. As soon as she opened her mouth, her 2 teeth broke and fell. As soon as she opened her mouth and touched her 2 teeth, they also broke and fell. And then she realized, because of the death of the real Elizabeth, her body has become hollow. Now, if she had to stay alive somehow, she had to apply the activation serum, for which she goes to her house. But when she was in the lift, one of her nails and one of her ears fell off. She panicked badly, but then someone else came in the lift, and until she stood here, she did not want to show herself at all. She acted as if nothing had happened, and then she came home quickly. Now, as soon as Sue goes and applies the activation serum, nothing happens. Then she remembers that she has kept 2 substances, which she had to use only once. Without thinking about anything, she injected this substance into herself, and as soon as she did this, Sue was in a lot of pain. As before, her body tore from the waist and from inside, a mixture of Sue and Elizabeth. A strange variant came out. It looked like a scary monster. Sue had become a hybrid. Her mental condition was so bad, but she did not realize. Now what is she? Can she go in front of the world or not? She put a picture of Sue on her hybrid face, and they went to her show. As soon as she reaches the mic on the stage, the photo falls from her mouth, and everyone sees her terrible hybrid face. This looked very creepy. Everyone was scared of her, and she ran away calling her a monster. Afraid of Elizabeth, now a man, with a baseball bat, strikes Elizabeth's face, and her face falls down, and blood comes out of her body and spreads all over the studio. Everyone ran away, and Elizabeth's body divided into weird pieces, and they came out of there like an insect. Where below, Elizabeth's star was made, her whole body was finished, and now Elizabeth's face. It was lying on the floor, which was looking at the sky, and I was smiling. And suddenly, the blood came out, and the next morning, the workers cleaned it. Thanks for watching the video. If you like this video, then comment and share it with your loved ones and subscribe to the channel to watch such content from me. See you in the next video. Till then, take care.